Welcome to the ATP Project. You're with your host, Steve and Jeff. Steve.
Yes.
Tongkat Ali.
I take this one.
What else is it known as? Because people may have heard of Tongkat Ali before, but what else is its common names?
Urocoma.
Longophilia.
Yep.
Yep.
Longophilia jack is weirdly...
Long jack?
Yeah, long
Yep.
jack.
Yeah.
It's also called Malaysian ginseng sometimes.
Okay.
And, but Urocoma is its Latin name.
It is an incredible herb. Incredible. Yeah. Probably one of your tippy top best as far as performance is concerned.
What sort of performance?
Well, I'm glad you've come to the expert, Steve. Well, no, and absolutely, it has got some great performance benefits in the gym, in the bedroom.
In the gym, yep.
It is an amazing compound. So, Steve, just give us a summary of Tongkat Ali,
Sure.
when it was discovered, where its traditional roots came from. Sorry, that works on a couple of different levels.
That's terrible.
And just why it's such a spectacular product and why everybody really should be looking to use this compound.
Well, it's got an amazing history. I've got a historical thing here, and it was great. Firstly, it was used for curing dysentery. Now, does everyone know what dysentery is?
Like diarrhea.
Bloody, pussy diarrhea. So, I know, disgusting diarrhea, bloody, pussy diarrhea.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know. That's what dysentery typically is.
Really?
It's where you've got diarrhea with blood in the stool.
Oof.
So hope you're enjoying breakfast out there, everyone. So that's where it was, because dysentery used to kill a lot of people, dehydration, all that sort of stuff. So that's where it mainly came from. But it's been used mainly as an aphrodisiac. That's where its main claim to fame was historically.
From which country? Is it Indonesia?
Yeah, Indonesia and Malaysia. And they both used it. And it was also used for sexual dysfunction, for anti-aging, for malaria treatment.
Right.
Which is great. Cancer treatment, diabetes, anxiety, aches, constipation, for exercise recovery.
Wow.
Even, like when they used to work in the fields, it would give people longevity.
Yep.
And this all relates back to its effects on the immune system and the hormonal system in the body. That's where its two main claim to fames are.
Wow.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff.
So why do most people now take it, Steve? And who's taking it?
Who's taking it? Middle-aged men like me.
Middle-aged men.
Yeah.
So we know that it helps with performance in the bedroom, and maybe we can get into the mechanisms of how that works. But also, then it's also used for gym and for testosterone, correct?
Yes.
But so let's start in the gym, and then we'll go to the bedroom, Steve.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
That sounded wrong.
I know. It's terrible. All right, let's start with the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone's heard of taking steroids at the gym, testosterone.
That's right. Yeah.
Now,
very, very quickly.
Yep.
Testosterone, men and women both have it. Men have 6 times more, I think, on average. Testosterone, especially free testosterone, helps to build more muscle tissue, increases nitrogen retention, so takes to protein. It helps you to lift weight, helps you with strength, but it also then helps to build that muscle as well too. That was a good catch.
That was a great catch.
It helps obviously then to build more muscle fiber.
Yes.
And make you stronger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Makes more red blood cells, gives you more energy, gives you more focus in the gym. So you're a better person in the gym if you got more testosterone.
Right.
So people either inject it, or you can.
That's testosterone. Yes. Or you can boost your own natural testosterone.
Yeah. There's 2 schools of thought with that.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the latter one where you can boost your own.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, people might take steroids because obviously taking it exogenously, which means that you're putting in a synthetic compound which looks very similar. You can put in so much more, and this is where you see these really big, bodybuilders and athletes. They'll use that to enhance their performance above, even with the best supplementation, what you could possibly ever achieve. No judgment, just is what it is, right?
Just what it is. I mean, you can inject a sustained release one that lasts about 6 weeks.
Sure. An anthate.
Yep. That's the one, an anthate. So you inject it, and you can go over the top, obviously.
Sure.
So you can go nuts with this.
You can go nuts, and there's some side effects as well too.
Yes.
That some people get, some people don't.
Yeah.
Depends on the amount that you use. Depends on your genetic disposition. But so we understand that testosterone builds muscle. Increases energy, increases libido. Decreases body fat.
Yep.
So long as you don't get any of the negatives where it starts converting down the wrong pathway. But we'll put that to the side. So Tongkat Ali, this is a natural herb.
Yep.
How does it boost testosterone, and what forms of testosterone does it boost?
It boosts testosterone in two separate ways, actually, very interestingly.
Right.
And it also boosts other performance in a third way. But we'll start with the first way. The first way is it drives up LH, or luteinizing hormone, in the body, which tells the testes to boost more testosterone.
Now, luteinizing hormone is produced in the pituitary gland.
Yep.
So it sends a signal to the pituitary gland to release more luteinizing hormone.
Correct, yeah.
The luteinizing hormone then in the brain connects with the gonads.
Yep.
And then that releases more
testosterone and sperm. Yeah. So you get more fertility with this too.
Sure.
But one of its, I'll call side effects, is that it boosts fertility.
Okay.
So you may or may not want that, but it's a good one also for women as well, because LH. Yeah.
LH. So it also helps. Okay. So how does it work in women specifically then?
Same thing.
Luteinizing hormone?
and LH. Yeah. And that drives ovulation in women.
Right.
So they get a boost out of it as well.
Fertility.
Yeah.
What does it do to females' testosterone?
It increases testosterone slightly. And there's a paper here, and I'll read the first paper out. It's in Phytotherapy Research 2013. It's called Tongkat Ali is a potential herbal supplement for physically active male and female seniors.
Right.
And it was a pilot study on them. And what they did was they gave them this, and they had slightly higher levels of testosterone, but lower levels of what we call sex hormone binding globulin. Do you think we know? Do you want to? We better explain what that is.
So, yeah, it's really important actually, and this is, and I guess this is why Tongkat Ali is such a fantastic supplement for both men and women.
Yeah.
Because not only does it increase the overall volume of testosterone. So let's say if you're at a 5, you know, and you go to a 6 or a 7 or maybe even an 8. The other thing that it does is it also helps to release or stop the active form of testosterone being bound by the sex binding hormone globulin. So I think, Steve, and you can tell me, you know these numbers, we've got about 2.5%. 2.5% of our testosterone is what they call free, which means it's active. When it's bound to the sex hormone binding globulin, it becomes inactive, right? In terms of building muscle tissue.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything, because for a hormone to work, it has to bind to a receptor.
Yeah.
And if it's bound to sex hormone binding globulin, it can't bind to that receptor. So it's like not having it in the body at all. So you want to free it up.
So the first thing that you want to do is boost your overall amount of testosterone.
Correct.
The second thing you want to do is free up or reduce the amount of sex binding hormone binding globulin that is attaching to your testosterone.
Correct.
And if you can do both, well, then you're getting double cut from the sword, significantly enhancing the amount of free testosterone that you've got, because that's really the game.
Yes, exactly. And what they found in this study was that they measured testosterone levels and they went up, but it wasn't a significant amount, but it went up a little bit. But when they measured the free testosterone, it went up significantly because it reduced the sex hormone binding globulin.
Yep.
So you end up with effectively more active bioavailable testosterone.
Yep.
And that's in elderly men and women.
Yep. And how much? And we talk about this now. I still recommend for guys that are training, even younger guys, that they can get benefit from utilizing, Tongkat and other, what we'd call things like tribulus and shilajit and other things like that as well too, right?
Absolutely.
But in terms of for older men, why is it so significant, and why is it typically seen? Because it really is almost how would you say? It's really well studied, because we know that as men get older, the amount of testosterone and free testosterone they have dramatically drops, correct?
It really does, bad. Also, I'm 53, our sex hormone binding globulin levels increase as we age too.
Yeah.
So to boost testosterone.
Why does that happen, Steve?
Because our liver becomes more active to bind up the excessive hormone. It's a normal part of aging,
right,
where hormone levels drop. Now, when I say normal part, I'm not saying a healthy part,
right,
but hormone levels drop. Now, there's schools of thought with this too. It's very interesting, is that when you get older, you got to remember, aging from an evolutionary point of view is, once you've reproduced, it's like, go away. You're not needed anymore. From an evolutionary point of view, the species will continue.
Yeah.
But as we are older, like 50-something, and no longer reproducing, we're still want to live a life.
Yeah.
And so the school of thought is that this will help you live that healthy life as you age,
right,
compared to the evolutionary thing, which is you may as well die because you've already reproduced.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a really counter to the argument that aging is a natural process and you just get old, you just get sicker, you just lose all your hormones. And this says no. we want to stay healthy as we age. We still want to have sex in our 50s, and we still want to live a life. I know. Yeah. Who would want that?
You've got old man balls, Steve.
My poor wife has to suffer with me with this. It's disgusting. Poor Beck. She has to sleep with an old 53-year-old man. She's only 43.
What?
I know.
You'd get arrested in some countries for that, Steve.
Absolutely. Oh, dear. So you can have sex as you age with this stuff.
Look, we know that old folks' homes, that's worse than, don't worry about Tinder when you get older. You just go knock on your next door neighbour's door. It's seriously, it's just rife.
Hey, Jeff, can I have a bar?
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Oh, God, love this.
So, do you know what, Steve?
Chocolate.
Some people call me barking mad.
Yeah.
But no, the bar.
The bar.
Origin bar. The bar. It felt like tattoo. The bar. Steve, do you like a bar?
I love them. I actually love. Well, funny enough, the orange one did it for me.
Well, it's interesting, and again, we've sort of mentioned this before, but we've got 3 flavors at the moment. There's a couple more on their way, and a couple of different styles coming as well too, Steve. But right now, we've got toffee, we've got Belgian chocolate, and we've also got the chocolate orange. Now, the chocolate orange, a little bit different. It's actually got real orange essence in there, and it is probably the runaway surprise hit because it is a very fresh, very light taste. And I'm not a huge, if I'm looking at bars on the shelf, I'm not normally going to grab the chocolate orange, but give it a try if you haven't tried it before. Toffee, very decadent, very rich, and of course, everybody loves chocolate. But Steve, give me the rundown. Ready? Let's do a battle off on the bars.
All right. High protein.
High protein. High fiber.
Gluten-free.
No artificial flavors or colors.
Contains a full serve of body balance collagen.
Ooh. No dairy.
Yeah. No grains.
Jelly-like texture.
Yeah, it tastes fantastic. Can I say that? Because it does.
Yes, it does. But I'm talking about attributes here. Uses real Australian Belgian-style chocolate, dark chocolate. You're going for the macros now, aren't you?
Yeah, very low carbohydrate.
Yep. Conveniently fits in your pocket. No, okay, we're really struggling now. But look, seriously, the No Way collagen jelly bar is available at all of our good retailers. That's all of your specialty sports retailers, and available at Woolworths. Look, get in, guys, grab a bar, give it a try, see how you like it. Very, very different. Again, we didn't want to use any gut upsetting sugar alcohols that are in there as well too. It's naturally flavored. It's got a jelly-like texture to it. It is a little bit different, but certainly high in protein. So, Steve, what else can we say? I think we've covered it all.
I think we've covered it. They're remarkable. They are.
Anyway, give it a go, guys. Let us know what you think. And but
it gets worse.
Oh.
It gets worse, unfortunately, for Tongkat Ali, or better, depending on which way you think. So let's say you're an old man and you want to have sex, right? There's one thing you need, right? Lots of testosterone.
There's a pleasant thought.
Yeah. Let's say you're an old man, you want to have sex.
Right.
You want lots of testosterone to get your libido up. Yep. It makes nitric oxide to get the vasodilation in the penis and all that sort of thing.
And that was the third part, right? Increases nitric oxide. Yep. But anyway, sorry. Yep. But yeah.
It does.
Don't let me knock you off course.
No, that's all right. We've all heard of, I won't mention brand name.
PE inhibitors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitors.
Easy for Steve to say.
Yeah. PDE5 inhibitors.
Yep.
Such as, I won't mention brand names, but blue pills and yellow pills and...
Yep.
Yeah, those sort of ones. Little blue pills, probably the most
V for victory, they say.
That's right. Yeah, we can't mention a brand name, apparently.
Yep.
So, anyway, so those pills are PDE5 inhibitors. Now, PDE5 is an enzyme that breaks down nitric oxide in the penis.
Right.
Okay? So, when you get an erection... I sort of remember that from years ago. But I don't know how to talk about this sort of without going rude.
I'm a professional, Steve.
All right, okay. Well, let's get serious about it. So let's use this pen as a penis, right?
Wow.
Now,
that guy's got a problem.
No. Well, I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull it apart.
No. Okay.
Now, inside a pen, you've got the inside of a pen, which is the ink part, and then you've got the outside, right? The blood flow goes through the inside of the penis,
right,
and then returns on the outside. Okay, so arteries go in, and then venous goes away. Now, what PDE5 does is it causes the inside to swell.
Right.
Which, if you think about it, causes the blood flow to stop on the outside because it squashes it outside. So your blood, your penis fills up with blood.
Yeah.
So that's like an erection.
Right.
Okay? And that's all good and that's wonderful. And then you got this enzyme that comes along and says, well, you can't have an erection for too long.
Sure.
So it's going to break down the nitric oxide in the blood vessels. So as the erection then eventually goes away.
Down. Yep.
Okay? Now, those drugs inhibit PDE5.
Right.
So you get an erection longer and stronger and more powerful.
Right.
Okay?
Makes sense.
Good old Tongkat Ali does exactly the same thing. He's a PDE5 inhibitor as well.
Right.
As boosting testosterone.
Obviously, the level and the strength is not as much, right? Because
Not as
there would
much.
be natural negative feedback loops with herbs, which is, again, the way that things are designed so that you can't take so much that you get a crazy problem. Because
Correct.
we've heard with certain blue pills
Yes.
that people have had to go to the doctors to have it drained because obviously they've taken so much that it won't go down.
I'm putting my pen back together so I don't have to
You
use
do that.
graphical.
So, Steve,
Yeah.
after the event, the ejaculation, typically, obviously, there's natural hormones that are released that obviously, but prolactin.
Yep, it's the
but
main
that
one.
doesn't seem to affect if you've taken the blue pill.
Yeah.
I mean, as much.
It does. You're right. The blue pill does cause side effects and problems.
Yeah.
Because you also get the same enzyme that's in your penis is also in your eyes. So
Right.
you can get eye problems with the little blue pills.
Right. Well, poor eyesight.
Yeah, but also blood
So
vessel
about
damage.
going blind, my
Yeah.
mum was actually telling the truth.
Sort of telling the truth with that. So I know.
Just checking my palms.
I know.
All right.
Absolutely.
So that's interesting, Steve.
Yep.
So I think, and then in terms of with Tongkat though, because it's following the natural. So why is it different between a drug and Tongkat Ali? Well, like why will one support and help, but it just enhances natural performance as opposed to what we like to say the chemical straitjacket, which certainly is probably a more profound effect,
it
but
does.
also has the piper to pay.
When they measure them head to head, testing, I know we've got to be careful how we say this, that the little blue pill works more. I can't say the brand name, but the Tongkat Ali still works significantly better than the placebo. So there's 3 levels. So the blue pill was up here, the Tongkat was less, but still way
Effective.
more than the placebo.
Right. Do you have a scale? Like, could you say that the blue pill was 10 times more effective than placebo, and the Tongkat was twice or 3 times? Like, do you know what it was?
The Tongkat was it was split in the middle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so
it's split in the middle.
it was about
Half as effective as the blue
Well,
pill.
that's still pretty decent.
Well, you don't want any more than that. I mean, who needs it to be that, big and, because you get side effects. Well, you want it to work really well.
Well, yes. I mean, like, there's lots of reasons why. But yes, put it this way: you've still got the piper to pay.
Yes.
So in other words, if you do take a chemical as opposed to a natural compound, might be slightly more effective and pronounced in the way that it works, but then you can also potentially get some side effects that may be unwanted.
Yeah, exactly. And also what you don't get with the Tongkat Ali, which is greater testosterone. So you get a better libido.
Yeah.
The blue pills don't give you a libido.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
it gives you the means, but not the desire.
Correct. So as you're aging, you want the desire as well as the means.
Yes.
So the blue pills and the yellow pills don't give you the desire. They don't affect your hormone levels.
Okay, that's interesting.
This beneficially. And also there's another way that this works better too, is that it's an aromatase inhibitor as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, I mean, and what that means is that when you boost testosterone, you don't want it going down to estradiol too much.
Or to testosterone as well.
Correct.
DHT.
DHT.
Yeah.
So this actually manages your testosterone. So, and this was a paper published in there about, what was the date on this one? Oh, it hasn't got the date somewhere. Oh, there is, 2013. And it basically showed that uricoma increases spermatogenesis.
Yep.
Inhibiting the activity of phosphodiesterase and aromatase in steroidal genesis. So that's the title of the paper.
Yep.
I just love that because it actually covers off all the needs for you. If you're heading to the bedroom, you want this on board. You don't want the blue pills or anything like that. You want this one.
How quickly does it work, Stephen? How much should you take?
Yeah, you should take, it's a good question, around about 1 to 2 grams of it.
Yep.
Now, the interesting thing these days is you can get 10 to 1 extracts.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for that.
So you only need like 100 milligrams.
Yeah.
10 to 1.
100 milligrams is enough. Now, in most of these studies, they use 200 milligrams, which is 2 grams.
Right.
Equivalent. So keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
It's very commonly also bound with other, we'll call them hormonal or boosting herbal medicines too. So keep an eye for that.
Like, we said before, tribulus is potentially one. Shilajit's obviously another
nettles,
one.
Fenugreek.
Stinging nettles, I think, Steve, as well too. Fenugreek seed, that's a good one as well too, yeah.
So they're all good ones. But this on its own, I love how it manages testosterone and actually takes into account all the benefits that like boosting testosterone, boosting erections. And what they did was has everyone heard of a meta-analysis out there? Does everyone know? I'm going to explain what that is.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. A meta-analysis is where they've said, okay, let's look at all the studies on this topic and put all the data together and see what comes of it. It's the strongest piece of evidence you can get. Now, on Uricoma or Tongkat Ali, there is a systemic review on clinical studies done on erection performance, and it shows that it's highly beneficial.
Yeah, right.
For that. So this was published 2017, and it was titled Uricoma as a Potential Adaptogen of Male Sexual Health, a Systemic Review in Clinical Studies. And it showed that the studies are very clear. There's 11 studies identified, and they show benefit.
Wow.
So that's a lot of evidence for that. And on top of the fact that it's natural, on top of the fact that it reduces estradiol, on top of the fact it boosts testosterone, and reduces sex hormone binding globulin. So it sort of does everything.
You're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
You are getting a stack of bang for your buck.
Which is great.
Yeah. I know. We've got to be careful.
I think maybe that should be the tagline of our new product.
Yeah.
But yes, okay, so get more bang for your buck. I should be in marketing.
It's true.
Okay, well that's good. All right, so then for women, Steve, is there any other things that we need to mention about for women? So definitely enhanced libido for women as well too.
Absolutely. Yep. And reduces sex hormone binding globulin. So let's say and I'm referring back to that aging woman's study, they were above 50. So they found greater sexual performance there because they freed up all their hormones. Yep. They had more estradiol, they had more progesterone, they had more testosterone because sex hormone binding globulin goes down, which is like a handbrake for your love life. And so if you can, reduce that, your handbrake's released and you're going to be feeling a hell of a lot better. So it improved women's sexual performance as well. So lubrication, all those sorts of things they measured.
Okay.
So incredible stuff.
And what about as far as performance in the gym is concerned, as far as muscle tone, body fat composition, Steve?
I'm glad you mentioned. There is and I'll read this. This was very recent. This was published 2021. It said a 6-month double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized trial to evaluate the effect of Tongkat Ali on training, on erectile function and testosterone levels in androgen-deficient males, the longest title on the planet.
It is.
And it showed terrific benefit, and that was the 200 milligram dose or 2 gram dose, 200 milligram of 10 to 1. And the results showed that 200 milligram supplement of Uricoma. And
taken in the morning, night before training, did it matter?
It didn't matter.
Right.
They just took 100 milligrams twice a day. And this was in men aged around about 47 was the average age.
Good age.
Yeah, good age. I wish I was 47. But it showed dramatic, and that was over 6 months. So the effect lasted for 6 months, and it improved their training, strength, and erections. I don't know what more you want in life. I mean, that's
Lamborghini.
Yeah, Lamborghini.
Yeah.
It won't help you get a Lamborghini, unfortunately. But what a great study.
It is.
I mean, double-blind, randomized trial. They took, 45 men and they trained some and didn't train others and everything. It was a great trial. And it showed that it benefited all the aspects. And that was a 2021 paper.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you're going to the gym, this stuff is terrifically good for you.
Yeah.
But it gets better than that because guess what else it does for you?
Reduces cholesterol.
No, I don't know if it does that actually. But it probably will because it boosts testosterone.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Testosterone is made of cholesterol.
Anyway, go on.
But that's it boosts dopamine in the brain.
Oh, makes you feel good.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
Wow.
So I mean, it has brain.
How much of an increase in dopamine does it do?
25%.
Wow.
Yeah, so quite a lot. In this particular one, this was a paper published in 2019. and they measured the brain cortical and hippocampal dopamine levels. Yeah. And it was titled A New Mechanistic Approach of Urocoma, Well-Known Aphrodisiac Activity and Its Chemical Characterization. So again, they used they found that it boosts dopamine in the brain. So dopamine, of course, is the precursor to adrenaline, noradrenaline, and it helps with focus.
Yeah, right.
And it's the chemical of choice you want when you're in the gym.
Yep.
You want more dopamine.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we're going to be talking about dopamine a bit later on with another podcast we've got coming up on caffeine.
Right.
And might have been released by now, depending on when this one. But that's going to be dopaminergic as well. You want dopamine in the you know, you've heard of tyrosine for the gym. You know, all these sorts of things, they boost dopamine levels. So the great thing about Urocoma is you get the testosterone, you get the erections, you get the dopamine, and you get the sex hormone binding globulin going away. So you've got everything in one herbal medicine.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, when I came across this for the brain, that surprised me because I knew it was, you know, made you feel good, gives you an aphrodisiac effect, but boosting dopamine is remarkable.
By 25%. That's huge.
25%.
How big was the study, Steve? Do you know how many people were actually in?
Well, they did this as a in vitro test.
Okay.
Because they had to cut the brains open of the rats.
Right.
So they knew it had this effect in the brain.
Right.
And they got the rats and gave them Urocoma, and it increased their levels by 25%, which is remarkable.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, just one herb too.
Yeah.
Again, there's many other herbs that do it. So, an incredible study. So,
right. What else you got for me, Steve?
All right. There's other evidence showing, and this is in a big review paper here, showing that Urocoma is great for liver and great for your digestive system.
Right.
So you know how you get, you know, you say that you got the piper to pay.
Yeah.
You know, you've always got a side effect of a drug and all this sort of stuff.
But nature knows best.
Nature knows best.
Yeah.
This is terrific for your liver and your digestive system.
Okay. Which again makes me think it's got to be good for cholesterol too, but anyway.
Yeah, because the cholesterol's where your liver's made. So it works terrifically in the digestive system as well. So as a side effect of all this, it helps your gut as well. Now, do you remember when we talked about treatment for dysentery?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a terrible usual infection of the gut. And I said before, it helps with the sex hormones and it helps with the immune system. It also helps with the brain as well by increasing dopamine. So what we've got here is when you take it, now I've focused mainly on the sex side of things, but it also helps with the gut as well. So you've got, let's say you've got a digestive disorder. Well, Urocoma can help with that dramatically by helping the healthier gut, helping the healthier liver, and helping your sex hormones as well.
How does it help in the liver though?
Yeah, it helps the liver by helping with the detoxification pathways.
Okay.
So you've got 4 major phase 2 liver detoxification pathways, and it helps upregulate those, the phase 2 liver enzyme detoxification pathways.
Wow.
So that's incredible. I mean, I didn't expect that for this one, that it had such a beneficial effect on the liver as well.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wants a healthier liver. Yeah. So if you take, for example, testosterone, oral testosterone, you know, boost your testosterone, that is directly damaging to your liver.
Typically because those things are 17 calculated, which means that they are, how would you say, Steve, they effectively don't break down quickly through the liver, right? No. I always like saying it's you know, like throwing a wrench into the machinery. It's sort of not really designed, and that causes some pretty bad problems. I had friends of mine using such products like a Napolon and D-Bol and stuff like that. And seriously, they go jaundice and start passing blood and all the rest of it. Like some of it was pretty full on.
Oral hormones are very dangerous, and I'm talking even about the contraceptive pill a bit here too. You know, the side effects of that is it's quite bad for the liver.
Yeah, right.
So you can have problems with that. So let's say you're a woman and you're on the contraceptive pill, for example. Now, the contraceptive pill is a synthetic hormone. Mm-hmm. So what the liver does to react to that is to upregulate sex hormone binding globulin. So let's say you're a woman and you're taking the pill and you want to have a healthy sex life. Well, there's a well-known side effect of the pill is it reduces your libido because it increases sex hormone binding globulin.
Ah.
Guess what Tongkat Ali does?
Helps to liberate that.
It helps to liberate the hormones, but also helps the liver as well. So let's say you're taking...
But it wouldn't knock it out. So if you're taking the pill and you take Tongkat, you're going to not upset the pill so it doesn't work.
You still will be infertile.
Okay.
Absolutely, because you're still going to get the hormonal levels to mimic the fact that you are pregnant. That's what the pill does.
Okay.
It sort of hormonally tells your body you're pregnant, so don't ovulate.
Okay.
So it'll still do that, but it will help the liver. It will help the gut side effects and help your libido as well, and help you in the gym as well. Because remember, if you're taking the pill, one of the side effects of pills is it reduces testosterone to too lower levels in women, usually.
Yeah.
And in fact, one of the great treatments of the pill, they use the third generations like the Yaz pills and the Dian-35 to reduce testosterone. So as you clear up your skin and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's used for PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yeah.
So if you're healthy, though, and you've got healthy hormone levels and you're on the pill for contraceptive reasons, Tongkat Ali would be a great addition to that because it helps your libido, helps your liver, and helps you keep your hormonal healthy levels so as you can, perform in the gym.
We've spoken about other compounds that men can use specifically, in the bedroom, but also for the gym, building muscle tissue as well too. So the partnering compounds that I would use with Tongkat Ali, starting maybe from the base and working our way up, Steve, would be zinc.
Zinc is great because you need zinc to make testosterone.
That's right. I would definitely look at Tribulus.
Yeah.
And or Shilajit.
Yeah, well, Shilajit's terrific.
And that's to increase the overall production, correct? What about stinging nettles, Steve? Because I believe that they can also help with freeing up testosterone.
They do free up testosterone. So that's a really good adjunct to this one too, because stinging nettles, it sounds awful taking them orally, but they're actually terrific for your health.
Yeah,
they're very good for your liver.
Yeah.
And they help modulate the liver's production of the sex hormone binding globulin.
Yeah, right.
So you're going to be much healthier by taking stinging nettles. And fenugreek is the other one that just boosts the testosterone production at the testes.
Yeah.
And they didn't know the mechanism of how that works, but it's probably via LH. Luteinizing hormone again.
Yeah, right.
So, you're thinking of these herbal medicines for, I'll just say men, but women as well.
Yeah.
Tongkat is at the top of the list because it helps directly with your penis and directly with sex hormone binding globulin, testosterone, aromatase.
Yep.
It covers all the bases. They're the 4 bases you want.
With women,
yeah,
I wouldn't recommend, and unless you're a bit older postmenopausal, I wouldn't recommend taking Tribulus. And even with Shilajit, maybe in very small amounts.
Yeah.
But outside of that, Steve, you could take Vitex with it. What else would you recommend for people that are using, women specifically, that are wanting to improve body composition, improve lean muscle tissue? What else could they take?
Tongkat is the greatest.
It's probably the king, right?
It's the king of them. It really, whenever I do these podcasts, I sort of go, right, let's start from the base. And I look at Tongkat and I go to PubMed, and there's just so many studies, and specifically on older women too. There was a paper in there on older women. So we know it works really well with older men and older women. Okay. It's considered a male herb, but it shouldn't be. No,
it shouldn't be. No, I agree with you. I think a lot of women go, it's all about erections and building copious amounts of muscle. But realistically for women, I mean, who doesn't want to improve their body composition? Fantastic for women.
Exactly.
And libido.
And menopause. There was papers on it for menopause as well.
Yeah, right.
Which I found surprising because, again, I went into this going, this is going to be a male-dominated podcast. We're going to talk about erections. We're going to talk about testosterone. But the fact that it helps women so much, particularly women that are either aging or have hormonal problems.
Yep.
Now, the only time you may not want to take this if you're a woman is if you've got PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yep.
I'd be very careful about that because they typically have too much testosterone to start with and not enough sex hormone binding globulin.
Right.
So that's the 1 in 7 or 8 women or 10 women that may have PCOS.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to be taking this one because it can exacerbate it. But for anyone else, healthy women, it's terrific.
So Tongkat Ali, men and women.
Yep.
Steve, if we're going to give this herb a rating out of 10,
yes,
I guess it depends on what you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
If the most important thing to you is the gym and putting on muscle, and you want to remain natural, I'd probably put up there as an essential, Steve. I'd put it right up there as probably a 10 out of 10.
Absolutely, especially if you're aging and you haven't got my nephew is a pilot in America. He's 23.
Yep.
He's young and all that sort of thing. He can benefit from this.
Sure.
But it would be more beneficial for me.
Yep.
Because I'm old.
Yep.
He's got loads of testosterone. He's young 20s.
But you do want to enhance freeing up that testosterone, so it's more active.
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. I think you probably, as you age, it's probably more effective because your body, when you're younger, you're pretty resilient and your body does a lot of things right. But it's still, I'd say, not just even somewhat, quite effective for younger guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely it would be.
Yeah.
Now, older men are more prone to, and older women are more prone to diabetes. And this was traditionally used for diabetes.
Yeah, right.
And because it boosts the hormonal levels, that makes insulin work better.
Huh.
So it's highly protective against that. And also, if you can maintain your testosterone as you age, you reduce diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah. Huge.
So you know, there's two schools of thought. The way I see it, okay, your hormones decline as you age. That's not a healthy thing, because you're healthier when you're 18 or 23, when you're full of testosterone. So we've got to keep our testosterone levels healthy as men as we age. This is one way to do it. The other way is to inject it in your butt, okay? Because oral testosterone is dangerous to the liver.
Sure.
So I would go this way and monitor.
Yep.
And even if you're on testosterone, I'd still take this.
Yes, and that I was about to say. So a lot of guys that are using gear will use this to stop the sex-binding hormone globulin, so they've got more active, so they don't have to use as much.
Correct.
Stop any of the conversion down the pathways to DHT and into estrogen as well too.
Absolutely.
So, and this is something that I found really fascinating, is that speaking to a lot of athletes that are, you know, bodybuilders or performance athletes that are using steroids, that they actually get a significant benefit of using a natural testosterone support supplement at the same time. Yeah. And a lot of people don't get that. They go, oh, I'll use that after, you know, to help rebound, or they'll use
clomiphene,
Clomid and other things like that as well too. And there's what's the injectable one that you get to get really just get the testes stimulated again?
Oh, they inject LH. That's a real.
Anyway,
I can't remember.
Yeah, but you certainly can use this at the same time to support with zinc. But I would myself personally utilize something like this through the time that you're taking that course. For women, we gave this a 10 out of 10 for men. What would you give this for? And let's say older women and then younger women. What would you give it?
Younger women, I'd give it an 8.
Yep.
Because they may have excessive androgens already.
If they don't, Steve,
then
if they don't, a 10.
Yeah.
If you do have, PCOS or anything like that, just be mindful that this is not going to be the product for you. Yep. Yeah. And for older women,
older
Steve?
women, again, it has to be. I sound a broken record, but it's got to be a 10.
It's got to be a 10. So it's a great product.
It's just. I mean, you've got to remember that there's a long history with this. You know, and we skipped over a bit at the start, but it's good for your body.
Yeah.
Like your actual, your gut. It's good for your hormones. It's good for your immune system. It's good for your brain. I mean, look, forget all the other stuff. Just imagine it boosting dopamine in the brain.
Yeah.
Helps you focus. How incredible is that?
Yeah.
Just forget the other stuff. But you've got to remember that the sex hormones also make the neurotransmitters in the brain healthy. Mm-hmm. So you do need testosterone.
Yep. And
you do need Tongkat Ali as you age, particularly if you're a male, because that's what most of the research is on. But as you saw with the paper in there, female seniors can benefit from it as well.
Any last words?
Think about this as you age. This is like an aging herb. This one, I would say, you can take it when you're younger.
Would you say it's almost on a bit of a curve, Steve? It's somewhat effective when you're younger.
Yep.
And it really it increases as you get older. It becomes more and more effective.
It's like Panax ginseng in that way, because it is a ginseng in its sort of roundabout way.
Yeah.
And if you look at the root of it, it kind of looks like ginseng actually too.
Yeah, right.
It's got a weird sort of look to it, but it as you age, it becomes more and more important.
Okay.
And I take this herb every day.
Okay.
Yeah, with other herbs, but this is one of the ones because I'm an old man. What can I say? I'm 53. I'm not 23 anymore,
53 is not old, Steve.
Oh, thank
Maybe
you.
when you get into your 80s, your 90s, then you're getting old.
Before the podcast, we were talking about older men, weren't we? And some actors and that are aging. And
oh, yeah. Yeah, mate.
See, they could benefit from this.
Yep.
Because they're probably, well, the one we won't mention his name, will we?
Jack Nicholson.
Okay, we will mention his name. But, he's probably a ladies' man too.
He used to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And with this herb, he can be a ladies' man again too. So that's why I think this herb is certainly one that you should consider as you age. Yeah.
Anyway, Steve, that's all that we've got time for today. Thank you. And we'll see you next week for some more. Bye.